All right, what's up, y'all? So let's see if we can make the sketch. So we'll make the design and sculpt it under an hour. Recording, and we're gonna snap. All right, so this is an old design. I might make this later, but for now we're just gonna chill out with that. All right, red. Let's use red, and let's use sketch. So we're gonna do something simple. I'm gonna turn on Drawing Assist and Procreate, so that just allows me to use symmetry. If you want to try that out, just go to Canvas, Drawing Guide, and then Edit Drawing Guide, and go to Symmetry here. Okay, perfect. So let's do, let's do a round head. Okay, I like that. This feels like it should have, maybe it'll have some things coming off it like this. Do we want to have a horn here? It's kind of cool. Eyes, let me bring my mic in. How do we want the eyes and the body? So the body, let's do something like this. It looks too silly. I think we want to do like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't mind the body. Ooh, you know what? Maybe like, I have an idea. Maybe we'll do like something like this. And maybe he has like a hood. Oh, I kind of like that. That's kind of different. But maybe he has like a tail. So I'm going to turn Animation Assist off, Drawing Assist off. And then maybe he has like a tail. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I don't know if I like this. I'm going to turn Drawing Assist back on so I can erase these. It's supposed to be a hood, but it just didn't really look like a hood. Okay, so maybe maybe the arms kind of come out like this. I like that. I like that. This is ambitious. This is really ambitious. Oh, I didn't do the face yet. Okay, what do we want to do for the face? Let's go with... Oh, you know, I like to do a big mouth. Oh, Animate Drawing Assist isn't on. So Drawing Assist, I'll turn that back on. I feel like I want to do more than 4 teeth, but I actually don't mind that. For now. And I don't know if I want to do regular eyes. Maybe we'll do something like that. Maybe they like glow inside or something. That'd be kind of cool, I think. I'm going to turn drawing assist off. And for some reason, I like doing a little like it's a little fruit. I kind of like it, but maybe I want to do some sort of eyes. Maybe we can do like little eyes here that are the actual eyes, but you don't realize it. That's kind of cool. It's kind of weird, but I kind of like it. Do I want to do line work? I'm going to do the line work, although I probably won't include the line work in this. So let's select this and this. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Put it in the middle. Snapping. Let's find the middle. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna add a new layer, and the rest is gonna be a time lapse. Okay, back, here's the sketch. So I'm just gonna merge this. I'm gonna duplicate it so it's a bit darker. And I want to share, and we'll do JPEG, save image, and then I'm just gonna crop it within here. Okay, done. And this will be available on my website. Just scroll all the way down to the bottom. Let's go to Nomad Sculpt. Let's first. Okay, so all I did, you see this is red. So all I did was change it from white. I just went here. Oh, whoops. I went to this little sun and I changed it from lit PBR to matte cap. So that's all that I've done so far. I'm just using this Naki clay. I just like it better than white. So it's the same white thing. I'm just using a matte cap. So let's go to this little image here, this little picture icon, reference image. We'll tap here, import photos, import it obviously for wherever you have it saved. So I'm going to import it. That's beautiful. It shows up right there. If you need to move it, just do transform and let's move it up a little bit. It looks perfect. I'll tap again to go back into sculpting mode. Let me make sure my lighting is looking good here. Okay, perfect. All right, so now this is obviously the big sphere. Do I want to leave it? Maybe I'll just keep it. This will be the head. Let's turn our mask. So let's make this mask, and this is going to be mask Swift or Swift apparently. I'm going to move it up because it's the head, so we'll move it up a little bit. And that's going to be that. I want to shape it. So let's just use move. Symmetry is on. Let's just shape this. Okay, so we'll pull this down. So I'm adjusting the size of the move tool to kind of give me better traction. Better shaping when I need, where I need. Okay, we'll move this up a little bit. So this is a little bit flatter on top. This is a little flatter. Looks good, looks good. Now I'm gonna make it big to kind of make sort of general. Or I could just use the gizmo and kind of just stretch it. So the only thing that looks weird is this is a little smaller up top. So let's make this a little smaller. And this may be a little higher, actually. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to use drag. Sometimes if you can't really I can't get it as sharp as I want, so I'm going to use drag instead. Drag is kind of better for those kind of details. I use move. Move is better for like bigger, wider, more surface area, but drag is like you can kind of get a bit more of the sharp edge with drag. So, all right, let's make this a bit smaller up here. I think that looks good. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So next, the body. How do I want to do the body? Let's add a cylinder. And I think I only want to make it like 4 sides. So what we'll do, do I want to do, or do I just want to do it cylindrical? Let's just do it cylindrical. Let's just bring this down. We can bring this down too. Let's use the gizmo, just make it smaller. So this will be the body. So it's kind of like that. Let's go back to this little cylinder options. And let's kind of even it out a bit. It's not that flared. Something like that feels nice. I'm going to add spheres, and these are going to be for the little feet. So I'm going to use the gizmo. I'm going to shrink, bring it down. And that's pretty good. I'm going to stretch it. We'll mirror. Let's move it over so we can kind of see what it looks like. I'm just going to validate. We're still working on this one on the left because it's the same shape. It's just in a mirror. So now I want to use move. I'm going to go in, zero in on that shape, and I just want to make it a little bit more like that. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to rotate them. Actually, I should leave them like this. I should trim them. So I'm going to take trim and rectangle, and I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to rotate them so they look more like feet. Let's make it small so it matches. Oh, and I rotate it. So let me hit align. That way I can just move them straight up. Much easier. Okay. So that seems about right. Let's do a quick save. 14 minutes. I only got 15 minutes left. So, okay, for these, let's use the tube tool. Path. Okay, now let's turn snap off so that we can move these into the face, like so. Go back to the front. It looks like I'm in a mirror, so I'm going to take this and bring it up. And these are going to be mask. We'll just do horns low. Let's add another one. It's got a bit of a curve. Let's do, let's make it a little bit bigger. Maybe a little smaller. I'm going to do radius twice. That way we can adjust all of these separately. And I think we want something like that, but we want it to be a little bit more round here. So we'll tap these 3 dots, post subdivision up to 2, and we'll bring the division X down until it matches a little bit better. We'll make this wider, I think. Still want to get that, you know what, that's okay. We can't get it to curve because of what we did, but we'll be able to get it to curve. I think that's good. Let's mirror it. Let's validate it. Let's take move. And let's just pull this down until we get kind of what we need. So I think that's actually pretty good. So now I'm just going to move it up and over. Let's shrink it a little bit. Clone, and we'll bring this down and over. We'll shrink this even more to give us something like that. Brilliant, beautiful. They look like they're a bit too big. I think that might be better. So now you can go to each one and you can adjust them if you need to. But I think they look pretty good. Oops. Just make sure you're not hitting the wrong thing, like I was. Okay, so I think that looks good. That looks passable. The feet, let's label these mirrors. So this will be feet. So we can take the feet and we'll take the cylinders, the body. Let's change that to body. So now we can take both of these and shrink it because it looks like a little bit too big. Beautiful. Let's add a sphere, and this will be the hood. We can go ahead and validate it. Let's take a look to the left. So we have to make this, we can just kind of morph this into a hood pretty easily. I'm going to shrink it and then tilt it back. Maybe something like that. How do I want to? Yeah, I think something like that could work as a hood. So we'll work that in a little bit better a little bit later. Oh, actually, yeah, I think we can make it work. Let's move it up. So this is going to be these two high ones. It's not going to be the arms, so we'll just have to figure that out when we get around to it. So we have the body. Let's call this hood body hood. Okay, mask horn. So let's make the horns on top. We can use tube again, path, and we'll do it like this, and we'll just kind of make this shape sort of rudimentarily, something like that. So we'll bring this, add another one here. That looks about right. This is really curved here at the end. So I'm going to hit radius twice so that we can adjust all of these now. We'll make this a little bit bigger and this one a little bit bigger. I think that looks pretty good, actually. So it's already mirrored. So where is that? Oh, that's in there. Let's bring it out. These will be horns high. And then we can just mirror that. Excuse me. So now we can, let's take a look at this. See, with this, it's better to move let's turn snap off. That was a mistake. So let's turn snap off. That way we can move this correctly as we need. So if we look back at the front, it's a little weird. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, not bad. I'm going to take the gizmo on the left side and move it back. I'm going to tilt it back like this. It just feels better. And we'll move it back some. And we'll move them in towards these thingies. That looks good. I like it. I like it. I'm going to go back to the tube options and make this maybe a little smaller. Do I want to add a little one there and just like, I don't know. I think I like how I had it before. I think that's fine. Okay, so now we need to make these two little thingies on top. I think for that we want to add a cylinder. Let's use gizmo. We'll bring it up and let's snap 90. We'll snap it towards us. We can turn that off for now. We can turn a line off for now as well. So we'll shrink it. We'll make it smaller. Let's look back to the front. Now this one we're going to do post subdivision to 2 and bring the division X down to maybe like 12 or so. Nothing too fancy. So I'm going to stretch it a little bit and then I'm going to validate. We'll take move. Now I want to move the front and the back, so we need to find that symmetry. The default symmetry is usually left and right. As you can see here, there's 2 dots. But we want the symmetry to be front and back. So I think that's the blue one. So let's go to symmetry and change it from X to Z. And also we're going to change to local so that it's not the center of the project, it's the center of the object. So it's not the center of the project, but center of the object. And let's turn on show line. That way you can see the line, and you know what? I rotated it, so everything is messed up. So there's two things you can do. So remember, I rotated that cylinder. So that's why this is messed up. Also, when I touch it, you can see it's all ugly. So I need to go to the scene and take it out of a mirror because it accidentally got put in a mirror. Anytime you see that ugliness, that means there's two things occupying the same space. So this is going to be leaflet, or just do leaf A. Okay, and we can take symmetry, or no, excuse me. We can go to Gizmo. So if we go to Gizmo options here, we can bake it. So what that does is it makes this orientation, it changes to this orientation. So it will be as though we didn't rotate it. It will make this the default orientation. So if I go to pivot, auto pivot, now everything is correct. So now when I go back to symmetry, let's see. Oh, I guess I probably didn't need to do that. I guess I probably could have just done this one. I don't know. It's getting confusing. Let's just move on. So it looks like Y is what I needed. That's front and back. Sometimes I still have the blue on. There we go. So now we're just going to use move. Sorry, that's kind of confusing. Sometimes it gets confusing. Symmetry always gets confusing. I try to be as clear as I can, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Why is it not? I also need left and right. So let's turn on X as well. I need left and right to make this really easy. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. I'm going to take smooth and just smooth the bottom a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's good. I love it. So let's take leaf A and let's look at the drawing again. Okay, so let's clone it. This one can be leaf B. And this one is a smaller version. We'll put that here. So the big one, I'm just going to take move, turn symmetry off. And I'm just going to turn it so it's like sort of looks like the drawing. Okay, so we'll go like that. We'll rotate it a little bit. We'll put a line so I can just move it straight down. Maybe we'll make it a bit smaller. Okay, that looks true to the drawing. I'll take that. Let's take this one, rotate it. Let's go to move. We'll turn symmetry on and maybe just a little smidge. And then we'll just shrink and rotate. I'm going to take a line off so I can stretch it this way a little bit. Okay, it's also important to have these look nice from the front angle. Let's take both of them and rotate them backwards. Okay, let's put them back here a little bit. And I also want to take move, and I want to turn the green off, and all I want to do is push it a little bit. Just push it real good. Okay, that's pushed a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing, turn the green off. It doesn't matter, symmetry's off on both of them. So I keep saying take the green off, but it actually doesn't matter because we have symmetry off. So we'll just give them a little bend. And then I'm just going to nestle them a little bit together. Beautiful. I'm just going to take move and just kind of stretch this one down into the... Perfect. I'll take it. Let's do a quick save. What time we got? Hey. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Let's do another tube. Let's do path. And we'll do it like this. Oops. Okay, there we go. Let's move it to the back with the gizmo. Let's put a line on so it just goes straight back. Turn snap off. I'm going to rotate it. This is going to be like the tail. So now we're just going to make this little curve. So let's just do a tube, options. Let's add another one here. Another one here. So something like that. So it looks like I might need to put that. That doesn't look good though. I'll just add a new one there. That looks good. Maybe I'll add one here too. So this, I'm adding the double nodes because it kind of makes it easier to shape. It kind of gives me the shape that I want a little bit easier. So we'll make this thicker. Then we'll tap radius twice so that we can make these individually smaller. So the very end of the tail, we can make smaller. So we'll make that smaller. We'll make this small. Oh, actually, we don't want the end of the tail to be that small. I think I like that. I think that feels about right. I'm going to bring this out a little bit. And maybe we make this a little thicker. I think that feels all right. So we'll have to drag this part down. But otherwise, I like it. Oh, and I also want to make it, I want to use the profile. Oh, that looks great. That looks great. I'm going to add another one here so that I can kind of curve it a little bit more to the body. But I think that looks really good. I'm going to tap align and move it up in here, shrink it a little bit. Actually, I'm going to shrink it a lot, actually. Okay, so it looks like we're not going to hit 30 minutes, but maybe we'll do less than an hour. So we have these shapes here. So let's take this. So this is the head. And let's see what the mask looks like. It's not too bad. Let's do a quick save, and then let's voxel remesh it. So I'm going to voxel remesh the mask to give it more, the mask to give it more resolution, just to make things clearer so I have better detail. So I'm going to use the shortcut down here. It's the same as going here, voxel, and then adjusting this. You can see if I do it down here, it's the same number. I'm going to do about 200 and hit remesh. And then I'm going to take mask, and I'm just going to draw these shapes. So symmetry is on, so we only have to do one side. So first the mouth. So these are the parts that are going to have depth inside the mask. Okay, so let's start about here. We'll go like that. We'll keep it simple, so it'll be something like this. All right, I think that looks perfect. So we might as well do, let's just do the mouth first. So now we will do invert. So we're on the mask settings. We'll just do invert. We'll take the gizmo and then we'll push this part in because we're only pushing in the part that is unmasked because we inverted our mask. We'll make it a bit smaller and maybe we'll move it up a little bit. Okay, I like that. I think that looked good. So now we can do mask again, clear. So that clears what we did. And now let's make these eye little spots. So let's do mask again, and then we'll make these eye designs. So we have to leave some room for these little dots here. So let's just do something like this. Okay, and it looks like it puffs up more on this side. You can also erase if you need. Okay, that's not too bad. That's pretty close. Okay, that looks not too bad. That looks pretty good. I'm going to make this a little bit longer, and then I'm going to erase and kind of... Okay, something like that I think is good. I don't know if I want to do these in this instance. I don't know. I might want to... Yeah, maybe I'll just do it now. Maybe... The other way to do something like this would just be to... We're going to do it a different way. Let's go back to our mask settings and invert. And then we're going to use Gizmo and we're going to push these eye socket thingies in. I like to flatten them for some reason. It doesn't really make a difference. So we'll flatten that. Actually, maybe I don't want to flatten it. Maybe I don't want it flattened. Yeah, maybe we'll just leave it. Mask clear. So now we have our depressions, which is kind of like the same thing there. So what I was saying with these, I might want to use a cylinder. Okay, with Gizmo, we're going to do it up, forward, and then we're going to rotate to snap 90. We're going to rotate it towards us, shrink it, mirror it, separate. We'll make it small. I might want to make it a little oblong. Just give it a little stretchy poo. There's always something on my tongue. Linty. Okay, so something like that. I think I want to make it a little more oblong and then rotate. Oops, let's turn snap off. Rotate a little bit. The eyes are a little far apart. I'm going to push these in, and then we're going to do a Boolean for those. Let's rotate a little bit more. A little bit more. Let's separate them a little bit. This feels like the right spot here, but we have to adjust the eyes. So let's take the move tool and let's just move these apart. Easy peasy. So let's shrink. We can actually shape the mouth and stuff too if we need. Okay, we can make the, do whatever you need to do with the mouth. I think that looks better. I still need to adjust. I need to move this a little bit more away from that little thingy. Let's make move a little bit bigger and we'll just widen that out. That looks great. Okay, let's quickly add spheres. Mirror, we can validate. Let's use Gizmo. Up, separate, shrink. Okay, so these are going to be similar to, let's put these on the top. I call them eye dots. They're kind of like, if you look at like a cat or like a lion, and they always have that section of different colored hair over their like in the top corners of their eyes, kind of where their eyebrows would come together. I love that. So I just kind of incorporate a little something like that in my characters because why not? So I think that looks about it. I'm going to shrink it a little bit more, and then I'm just going to take drag, and I want to just drag the bottoms to give it a little bit of a wisp. I don't really know what a wisp is, but you might have to rotate it a little bit. I want to get the shape that I want. I want the shape to be, yeah, a little bit more like, yeah, like that. That's what I want the shape to be. Oop. I just want to make sure that it's, there we go. I had to rotate it the right way. So that's what I wanted, something like that. Boom. Let's just call them eye dots. Just makes it easier. Eye dots. We'll do a quick save. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see, the cylinder. Let's go ahead and let's make it more. What do I want to do with the cylinder? Do I just want to leave it? Post subdivision up to 2. Let's bring this down to, let's bring it down to 18. I think that's great. I'm going to validate it. Perfect. I think that's all the details in the face. So the face, oh, we have to do the Boolean. So let's take these, these little eye things. So these we're just going to validate. So we validate those. Actually, let's undo. I want to clone this. I want to clone it. So these are going to be, let's just call this P1. So we might come back to it, hit the little eyes so that they get hidden. We'll go back to the mirror, we'll validate, and then we want to take the mask and this eye thing, and we want to hide the little eye things. So we're hiding these things. Whoops, where is it at? See that? We're hiding that. We have both of these selected, the mask and the mirror too. I'm just going to hide the mirror too. I'm going to do a quick save. And then we're just going to go, where is it? Scene, Boolean, Boolean. You see now that's gone. Now we have those holes there, which is perfect. Let's take the mask and let's do a voxel remesh of let's do 250. Let's go crazy. Okay, that looks good. 250, so now we should be able to hold on to some of these details. We can take smooth and then we can just smooth this out a little bit or a lot of it. So we'll just smooth all this. Smooth our mask. And we didn't actually figure out what we want the shape of the head to be. So like maybe we want to make this bigger and like pull this part out, maybe. Or maybe we want to do something crazy like take like maybe we want to clone. Okay, so the mirror is now the head. Let's make sure that we rename it. Maybe we want to clone it. Oh, should I do split instead? Let me delete this. Let's go back to the head. Let's do split. We'll do split and we'll do ellipse. And let's just make a big circle back here. Oh, we don't want that. We don't want a circle. Oh, this should work. So if we do this, boom, now we have it separated. We can take the mask part and we can do that around like 205, 200. We can take this part and we can voxel remesh that at whatever. So now we have these two pieces which we can smooth. Make sure symmetry is on so that you're smoothing them like the same way. It looks a little weird. Sometimes I'll just voxel remesh again and then smooth it again. So we'll take this and just smooth out this. We'll smooth that out. Perfect. So now let's take this part. So this will be the head. Let's make this B, and this would be the head A. So now the head is in two parts. So B, we can shrink it a little bit and maybe move it forward, and then it looks like a head in a mask kind of deal. We'll make it a little bit longer, like so. Perfect. I like it. Okay, so now this part and the hood. So the hood, let's kind of make it a hood. So let's just take move and let's just bring this down. Maybe we'll bring this up like this. And we'll smush this down. Maybe we'll take drag and we'll kind of drag the edges into this little cylinder. Since the cylinder's the body, let's take the cylinder and let's take move and maybe we'll just move this part up a little bit. Okay, and we also need to make room for the tail. So let's take the back of the cylinder. How do we want to do this? How do we want to do it? Do we want to move the whole thing up? I think we might want to just move the whole thing up. And then we can adjust on one side. Why is my watch blowing up? Okay. So now this, let's use the gizmo and we can move it in, we can make it a little bit smaller. And we just want to make this, I'm gonna tap on the tube settings again, and I want to drag this into the body. Like so. Maybe I'll even add a new one. Sometimes you gotta add a new one to make it do what you want. Otherwise it's a rascal. Okay, maybe we'll make these a little bit bigger. Okay, that looks good. It's pretty much what I need. We'll bring it out a little bit more. Maybe we'll bring this. Oops. I don't know why it rotates so much. Bring that out a little bit more. But we can also rotate this, so I'm not too worried about that. You can just hit twist, and then you can twist like so. Let's move this down. Okay, so let's make this a little bit more round. So let's do post subdivision to 2, maybe even 3. And let's bring division X down. I just want this tail to be a little bit rounder on the edges. Perfect. I love it. Okay, I'm going to bring this down a bit. So what I need to do, this actually looks great, is just make like a little floor. So let's just add a box. We can, yeah, we can validate it. So let's add a box. We'll just shrink it. We'll make it bigger. Okay, so let's pretend that this is the floor. And you know what? This looks good, so I'm gonna not worry about it too much. Let's take this, the robe, and now we can make this so it looks like it's going over the tail. And they're different size, so I'm gonna turn symmetry off because they're not gonna be the same on both sides. So now I'm just gonna adjust so that it looks like they're on both sides. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take move. I'm going to pull this down to the floor. Now we'll go over here and I'm just going to adjust this so it looks like there's enough room for this tail to be going. Let's look left and just bring this to the floor. Anything that's on the floor, we want it to be going to the floor, including this tail, which I'm going to validate. And then I'm going to use move. Do we want symmetry? I don't think we want symmetry. I'm just going to drag it to the floor. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Everything looks nice. Even Steven. Oh, the front looks weird. So that's okay. We'll just drag this part to the floor. We'll make it bigger and just drag this whole thing to the floor so that it looks like it's resting on the floor. And sometimes you have to go back and forth and just kind of adjust things. And that's just part of the job. Okay, let's go here and adjust this to the floor. Now let's take the shoes kind of thingies. Let's move those up and let's rotate them a bit more. Okay, so something like that. Let's make them a little bit longer. I'm going to take move on these and just make them a little bit more substantial. And then I'm going to take this and just drag this to the floor. Perfect. And then maybe drag and then just drag. Let's turn symmetry back on and then drag this up a bit. So it looks like it's going over the little feet. Okay, looks good. Let's do a quick save. Oh, I didn't do the arms. What time? Oh, I have 15 minutes left. Wait, okay. But that's okay. Everything's looking pretty good. So let's take these. Let's validate them. Let's take move. We can keep symmetry on. We want to make sure this is actually going into the mask smoothly. Okay, that looks good. That looks great. Okay, now if we want this a bit sharper, we can take pinch and just go around and make sure you're on the mask and then just go around this edge and you should be able to get this mask a little crisper, or this edge a little crisper, a little more crisp. Okay, just make sure symmetry's on when you're doing that because you'll be upset if you don't. Let's just leave that how it is. So the mouth, maybe I'll make that a little bit more crisp. Okay, so now let's do teeth. Let's add a sphere. Shrink. And let's just flatten this. I think that works. Now I want to, let's flatten it a little bit more. And we'll just try to keep it So it looks like it makes sense. Let's go ahead and mirror. So we'll rotate a little bit. Move it out a little bit. That looks good. I'm going to validate. Let's clone. Okay, so now we have another tooth here. Rotate. Like so. Maybe we'll move it a little bit further in and rotate it a little bit. Beautiful. Let's clone. That was beautiful. I don't know what my mouth said. So we'll bring this in. This will be another tooth down there. We can clone again. And we'll bring this. And let's move them up towards the front and rotate them so they make sense with the contour of the mouth. Same thing with these. We can move them up a little bit and rotate them. You can turn a line off to move them kind of along their own axes. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so what do we do? What do we do next? So we don't have anything for. Okay, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? We want to make a cylinder for the neck. So let's go add cylinder. Let's make it bigger. And let's look at X-ray. Let's take the cylinder options and we'll make this smaller, this a bit bigger. I think that can work for a neck. So the neck would be, let's use the gizmo again. And the neck would be maybe here. I'm going to tilt it forward a bit. I'm going to turn a line on so I can just move it straight down, even after I adjusted it. So I'm thinking something like that would be the neck coming up. I think that makes sense. Okay, so let's do post subdivision up to 2 and bring the division X down a bunch. That's fine. So I'm going to validate it. So what I want to do next, let's take the cylinder out and this is a neck. So let's call this neck. This mirror, these are the teeth. So I think I'm just going to validate these and call them teeth. Okay, let's do a quick save. So next I need to take the eye dots, the head, the teeth, the head B. Is there anything else? Oh, the leaf A. What is this? Leaf B? Why are they so far from each other? Mask horns. Oh, I need to take the mask horns. So all of these. Horns high. I think that's it. What is this tube? Nope. What is this box? Okay. The neck, no. So we want to move the head. So the head, I think, would be forward and lower. So it looks like, yeah, I think the head would be maybe even here. Something like that. Yeah, I think I like that. I'm going to turn X-ray off. We'll take this neck part and let's make it bigger. And let's just use move and make it kind of curvy. So we'll do this. Okay, so it looks like it's going into there. And let's take them. How do I want to do this? Let's use layer, excuse me, and sub. So on this hood part, let's just go like this. Let's just make it like real hood-like. So we'll do something like that. Let's take this body and the body hood. Let's voxel remesh them together. So let's do like 160. So we'll remesh those two together so they become one piece, which we can then smooth. Okay, symmetry's on. So we can smooth all this out. And then we might have to take move and just drag up this part. The hood looks a bit weird, but that's okay. I think I'm out of time. I did that wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Let me think. I have to think about like how a hood looks. You know? Maybe I rotate it a bit more. Maybe make them like that. Maybe we'll do, let's add another cylinder. What time do I have? 51. Okay. Let's bring it up. Shrink it. Wait, where'd it go? I'm so confused. Shrink. Do I need something like this for the thing? No, let's just get rid of it. Okay, so if this was a hood... Oh, I know what's missing. We just need arms, really. So where would the arms be coming from? That's important. So let's do this. Let's just open this up a little bit here. And maybe we'll stretch this into the hood. Oh, and then we'll take layer. And the hood, we can just layer it so it's like that. That makes more sense, right? So then it looks like one piece. So this, let's take drag or something. And maybe we can drag this down. And maybe we'll even use layer again to make it seem like, yeah, there we go. That's better. And maybe we can use layer here as well. Whoops. So let's take the body and the hood. Let's voxel remesh at 200. So now they're one piece. We can smooth, smooth, smooth. Okay, it's looking good. We can smooth this hood. It looks more like a legit hood. You can even take flatten, and you can flatten this part. Oh no, it's all messed up, isn't it? Oh well, we'll leave it. Maybe we need to just like smush it or something. Okay, but it looks like it's going in, so I'm happy with that. So you can take flatten if you want, and you can like flatten some of these parts out and kind of make them look a little bit better sometimes if you want. Maybe I'll flatten the hood a little bit, like just go something like this. Smooth it out a bit. Anyway, okay, I'm going crazy now. So now that we voxel remeshed, we can probably use layer and make better holes in the side, smooth them out, and then that can be where the arms come from. So let's use tube path. Okay, I gotta do this one quick. I have no time. I'm gonna turn snap off. So this one is going into the body, and then it comes down. This part comes up. Let's make this a little more away from the body. So something like that. Perfect. Let's hit radius twice. The shape of the arm, it gets a little bit bigger here. This is the shoulder. We'll make that a little bit bigger. We can make this a little bit bigger. Brilliant. I think I like it. If we look at it from the front, it looks brilliant. Let's mirror it. Let's post subdivision up to 2, and we'll bring this down a little bit. Let's validate. Look great. Voxel remesh. Let's do 200. And then for the fingers, first let me smooth this off a little bit. And I'm going to flatten the bottom. Let's flatten the bottom a little bit, smooth that out. Nice. Let's take inflate. And we need to make a thumb and 2 fingers. So I'm going to inflate here, like that, here, like that. And then I can take either, oops, did I accidentally undo? So now I'm going to use move and try to adjust these fingers so they will be exactly what I want them to be. You can stretch them. I'm going to give them a little bit of a curve. I'll push them up. I'll make sure they're nice and round. Okay, maybe bring it out a little bit more. Perfect. And now we just need a thumb. So we'll go here. Whoops. Inflate, and we'll just make a thumb here. I'm going to hit so low so I can really see it. I'm going to take move and just make it a little bit bigger, and then make it kind of curve the way thumbs do. Beautiful. I'm going to smooth this out. Let's voxel remesh these. So we can do like 230, 200 or so. So this is just going to solidify them a little bit more so that when we smooth, they don't change all that much, because we like them. So this looks good. Yeah, the fingers are looking good. Okay, and you can always adjust them a little bit more if you need. And what does that actually mean though? So that means like you can, like sometimes with fingers, I'll pull this part up a little bit, so the top part is flatter and the bottom part is more round. I don't think I have time for that kind of detail right now. So we'll unsolo, we'll go back to front. I only have a couple minutes, but I think that looks pretty good. So since I only have a short amount of time, let's go back to lit PBR. Let's get down to color, and I'm going to choose some colors that I normally use. I'm going to choose everything here in my thingy. So all the parts, we'll do paint all. Okay, it looks cool. We're going to turn the environment off. We will add a light. Where's my lights? Add light. I'll make this 3. Or let's make it a little less than 3. So I'm going to clone this, and then I'm going to use Gizmo, and I'm going to rotate it to be like a rim light. So kind of like that. That looks good. I'll make it a little bit brighter. And then let's do another light. We'll move it over here, and a little bit brighter. I mean, a little bit less bright, but not quite a rim light, just a little bit more. Maybe we'll make that a little bit cooler. And we'll make the light we did before that a little bit warmer. Nice. Let's turn the environment on, but let's move it down. Let's go here and do post-process. Looks good. This is one that I always use. That looks great. 59 minutes. So we're going to go here, turntable, and do our turntable. All right, that's it. Keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video. And if you want to see more in-depth tutorials, make sure you check out my Skillshare classes. That's where I put the most time and effort, and I really break down 3D and Nomad Sculpt. So please check me out there. I'd appreciate it. And here's my Skillshare promo. All right, see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to go more in depth, then definitely check out my Skillshare classes where I am a top teacher. I have about 50 classes, both Procreate and Nomad Sculpt. I also have a few classes on Udemy, so if you want to learn more, or you just like my style, you like the way I teach, you want to support me, those are some other places that you can do it. Thanks again, keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video.